Hi friends, my name is Rose and I hoard crafts. Let me let you in on another secret stash I have in my craft room. Craft kits. So many craft kits. Most of them are either things I've never tried, so then I'm nervous to start, or things that I think would be good to do in my spare time, which I don't have any of. So these kits have been sitting here gathering dust for far too long. I did notice that I have 2 polymer clay kits, and since clay is something that I love, but does not love me, I thought I'd try them both and compare how they are for a complete noob boob like me. The first kit is this cute polymer clay kit by Rockpoint. It says, everything you need to get started making these cute polymer clay creations. I got this at the half-price bookstore for $12.99 apparently, and I did a quick Google search to see how much this normally runs for. Excuse me, do they not know what half price means? It's not the 9/10 price bookstore. Let's just pop this baby open. We've got 3 little plastic tools, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is this? Why is it sparkly? I guess it's gold? Anyway, 9 colors of clay, some eye pins, and a project book. I am the kind of person that will read all of the instructions. The clay is Sculpey brand? Nice. Additional tools? You said it was everything I needed. At least the measurement picture seems pretty accurate. I did find a few pieces that I want to try. Pickle. Definitely making lollipop earrings. Ice cream, but not green. That's ugly. Okay, got it. I put down wax paper to protect my surface. And then I'm going to open and condition all of the clay, because the instruction manual says that's important. I learned in a previous experience with clay that it can transfer color onto your hands and infect the other colors, so I'm working from lightest to darkest. But I'm still somehow already getting the clay dirty. Ugh, why? So I got a damp rag to wipe my hands off after each color. Now that they're all conditioned, I'm going to start with this pickle. There's a size chart in the book, but I didn't want to keep flipping pages back and forth, so I traced it onto a piece of wax paper. Working on my first lump of clay, and there's fuzz in it. Where is it coming from? I literally just washed my hands. But I don't know how to fix it, so I just moved on. Making a little pickle shape, inserting the eye pin, which came out of his butt, and then I used black clay to make a little face. Well, I tried, but no matter how tiny I thought I was making the pieces, they were still giant. I kept having to take it off, make it smaller, and try again. And then I couldn't get all of the black clay off of the green, so I tried to cover it up with a tiny piece of green, but it wouldn't blend back in. So I started all over. Pickle, pin, teeny tiny face. So far so good. Now let's add all of his little pickle pimples by rolling balls and smushing them on. Aw, he's cute. But how do they get the faces so small? Seriously. So I moved on to the sloth. And while I didn't have fuzzy hands this time, and I made a perfect face, while I was pushing the eye pin in, I smushed his little nose with my fat fingers. I tried a little cosmetic surgery, but it just kept getting worse. So I took him all apart and started over. This time doing the eye pin in the beginning. It did seem to get better after that, but it was still kind of annoying how many extra things you need that aren't in the kit. Like I needed extra wire to connect the lollipops, and making the cactus required 2 different sizes of something called a ball stylus and a diamond tool. Luckily, I happened to have a bunch of clay tools because I sort of expected to be so amazing at clay the first time I tried it that I bought a bunch of supplies. But I would be so pissed if I had to go out and buy more stuff to go with a kit that says it has everything I needed. And I've never even heard of a diamond tool. I wouldn't have a clue what to buy. Some of the steps in this book are a little harder than they need to be, in my opinion. Like, to make the ice cream cone, I needed to cut a circle with a circle cutter that everyone just has laying around, and then cut it into quarters and roll it up. I totally could have just rolled a cone shape with my hands, and it would have looked just as mediocre. And while some instructions make things more difficult than necessary, some are just plain lacking in detail. For these tacos, the instructions say to shape the green clay into lettuce leaves. That's it. How do you do that? I wasn't just born with this knowledge. The last item I made called for liquid Sculpey to secure the head. If you're buying a kit called Cute Polymer Clay, you probably have very limited experience with clay, so you probably don't have liquid Sculpey just laying around. And I refuse to run out and buy some for this, so we're just gonna hope his head stays on. So here's what all my creations look like before baking. I desperately wanted taco earrings, so after the first one came out massive, I made 2 more in smaller sizes. But they're still kind of sad looking. And this turtle is lumpy dumpy. The sloth and ice cream aren't bad, but the lollipops, pickle, and cactus are pretty cute. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with my first try. I baked these in my little toaster oven at 275 degrees for 15 minutes for the small ones and 20 for the big taco, cactus, and turtle. And here they are afterwards. I was pretty worried about baking them, but they all came out pretty good. They look the same as before, except for a little bit of cracking on the turtle and a bunch of fingernail marks that I didn't notice before. So let's move on to the second kit. This kit is made by Klutz. I've done a few kits by them before, and they're usually pretty good, so I have high hopes for this one. This seems to run anywhere between $16 and $32 depending on where you get it from. The charms on the box are so cute, I'm already excited. Inside we have a giant instruction book, whatever this thing is, glaze, a plastic baby tool, some eye pins, jump rings, and I think this is a bracelet. This kit also has 9 colors of clay, including that shiny gold again. Just let me read all the instructions. Pig with wings. I want to make a flying pig. Definitely making a donut. A gumball machine. Rainbow? Obviously I'm going to make a rainbow. Okay, I'm ready. I started this kit the same by opening and conditioning all of the clay. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe I didn't need to do this. Like maybe I can just rip off a hunk that I need and condition it then. But either way I did it, and I'm ready to start making some donuts. I definitely want donut earrings, so I'm gonna make 2 at a time. The book's ball measurements were pretty accurate, and the instructions were easy to follow. I think I'm getting better at using the teeniest, tiniest little pieces for the details. I used the cute little tool to poke a little hole in the donut, and though I did have to turn the donut over and connect the hole from the other side, it actually worked pretty well. I thought the gumball machine would be difficult, so I only made 1. But it actually wasn't too bad. The most time-consuming part was making all of the itty-bitty little gumballs, but even making the coin slot was pretty easy. And then I couldn't decide which style of cupcake I wanted to make, so I tried both. I do feel like these are going better than the first kit. I'm not sure if it's that they're easier, or just smaller, or maybe I'm actually getting better at it. Also, not doing teeny tiny faces on things helps. And so far, I've only had to use their little plastic tool. And I really like this style of eye pin better. Because they have threads on them, I can twist them in rather than smash them in, and I feel like they'll hold onto the clay better. Like I know what I'm talking about. But I am getting faster at making these. And I feel like I'm starting to get better at estimating the right amounts of clay. Whew, I'm getting real full of myself. But look how cute these are. It's time for the flying pig. I've been waiting for him. This is the first time that I sort of ignored their instructions. They show some way to make a rectangular cubey thing with the baby tool, but I couldn't get it to work, so I just ended up doing it with my fingers. Then some balls for legs, his nose and ears. Look at his ears. And a little corkscrew tail. Why are so many of the charms pink? I didn't plan that. Or maybe I did. Because pink is my favorite color, so subconsciously maybe those charms looked the cutest to me. But this lizard isn't going to have any pink. You can say this is a lizard, but we all know this is a chameleon. And surprisingly, this was pretty easy too. Like, it looks complicated to make, but it wasn't at all. I even got a little fancy and made his head more chameleon shaped. I still struggled with the eyes though. It's the faces that get me. It's hard to stop, but the last one I'm going to make is this rainbow. I was only going to make one because I thought it'd be way too big for earrings, but when I got about halfway through, I just couldn't help it and made a second one. But I don't like the back of this one. This is how the instructions said to hold the eye pin on, but it's just messy looking. And here's this set ready to go. I popped them in the oven to bake, and here they are. They all came out looking good, no cracking, no burning, but still a few spots where my nails got in the way. But overall, they came out great. Unlike the first one, this kit says to use a permanent marker to draw the faces on afterwards. This was so much easier. The last step was to add a glaze. And this weird thing from before is a display stand to hang them while they dry. After a little trial and error, I found the best way to glaze these was to hold the eye pin with pliers and glaze all around. Then to slide them onto a paperclip and hang them to dry. When I tried glazing them already hanging from the paperclip, they moved around too much and it was hard to get all of the angles. But I really like the look of this glaze. It makes the pieces look so finished and nice looking. I'll probably end up going back and glazing all of the charms from the other kit too. Surprisingly, I did like both kits, but I'd have to say the Klutz kit was better. I didn't notice a difference in quality between the clays, and while I thought the Klutz charms were cuter, that's more of a subjective opinion. However, I didn't like that the Rock Point kit required so many extra tools that weren't included. And I feel like some of the instructions could have been better. But overall, I really liked making these. Clay and I haven't had the best relationship in the past, but I feel like we're in recovery now. So what do you think? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.